Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, my voice probably sounds a little bit off today as well. Still working on getting over this cold, so I apologize that things may sound off. That said, I hope you and yours are well right now. But we actually got some pretty interesting news regarding the long-term future of Call of Duty and a new leak or a new rumor that actually seems to indicate when our next major shift might be in Call of Duty's future, which, while yes, it's certainly still a long ways away, is definitely something to be on the lookout for, because right now, obviously, with a lot of issues going on in Call of Duty, in the future, while yes, they could attack things with the next Call of Duty title or even this year to a certain extent, the major shifts when we see engine updates, when we see major upgrades like that, oftentimes are some of the most substantial for years to come. And the last time we had one was obviously with the launch of Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2022, when we sort of entered the new era of Call of Duty with the COD HQ and everything going on there. And of course, a lot of that's since backfired. But that said, as always with leaks and rumors, this is just a leak or a rumor. So especially now, considering how far out it is, definitely take everything with a grain of salt. Things are absolutely subject to change. But that said, the Ghost of Hope, who is a very credible leaker and data miner at this point, if you are an active viewer here on the channel, you've definitely heard Hope's name in several videos over the years. Built up a pretty credible track record when it comes to the insider information that he has talked about previously that has since come to fruition. And all the way back in May of 2024, Hope initially posted saying, hearing from trusted sources that the next Xbox is planned to be released in late 2026. Very likely that Call of Duty 2026 is a day one release for it. So in and of itself, already sort of establishing that track record there with this information, because earlier on this week, he actually followed this up. So sometime later now, but a direct follow-up saying, take this with a huge grain of salt. I'm hearing that the next Xbox console is still coming in 2026 and will be called Xbox Prime. Still unclear if it's a code name or the actual name. I've heard Infinity Ward's next COD is still considered being a day one release for this. So the next generation of consoles, starting first with presumably the Xbox here. We haven't heard anything about the next PlayStation as of now, but the Xbox Prime, obviously Microsoft now being in full ownership of Activision Blizzard King, certainly has, I guess pun intended here, a prime opportunity to then make Call of Duty that full-on day one title for the launch of their next major console. So this is big for a couple of reasons. This not only again sets up the current state of the future of Call of Duty, but poses a few interesting situations that I sort of alluded to in the intro there with the next major shift in the Call of Duty franchise. So Charlie Intel essentially sums this up and says the current rumors for the Call of Duty schedule are in 2025. So our Call of Duty title for this year, launching later this fall/winter, is going to be developed by Treyarch. So back-to-back years for Treyarch, this would be sort of a first type of situation, having the dev studio do 2 games back-to-back. Not really a 2-year title, but still a very interesting situation, which I'm really curious what this has on the effect of Black Ops 6 post-launch and sort of the development with all of that right now versus what they're focusing on with their next game, of course. But this is supposed to tie into Black Ops 2 in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be a sequel or a partial remaster or something similar to Black Ops 2 that connects to that directly, obviously building off the story and building off of everything from Black Ops 6. And then next year, we're going to see Infinity Ward's next title, a new Modern Warfare game. And of course, conveniently enough, over the past couple of days, we've talked about some of the other leaks and rumors in regards to that title and what exactly that could encompass, if they're going to be incorporating Omni movement, potential wall running stuff, things of that nature, which would be a pretty significant change to Infinity Ward's style of gameplay. And then in 2027, we'd have Sledgehammer's next game, whatever that could be. It could be Vanguard 2, Advanced Warfare 2, who knows? What I am excited about here, for one, though, is that Sledgehammer, who, I mean, just based off the past few titles, Modern Warfare 2, a lot of issues, Black Ops 6, a lot of issues, Modern Warfare 3, pretty surprising all things considered. Sledgehammer finally gets their shot at a true development cycle where they're not going to be rushed to make a Call of Duty, in 16 months like they had to do with Vanguard and they had to do with Modern Warfare 3. Sledgehammer's always been dealt very bad cards in very limited time, and honestly came away with decent gameplay and a decent product, despite the fact that a lot of their games aren't really well received because half of them have been World War II shooters, which just aren't great for Call of Duty, and that's not really what the audience is really drawn to these days, right? So very excited to see what Sledgehammer can do with a full 3 years, or really 4 years, I guess, of development, since Treyarch obviously had a lot of 2024 with Black Ops 6, and Sledgehammer was sort of winding down that year. So definitely excited for the long-term future, but obviously focusing in on 2026 and this Modern Warfare title for next gen. As I said, this presents a handful of pretty significant opportunities. As we do dive into the details here, quick reminder, if you are new to the channel, every single day this is the place to be to stay up to date with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay in the know. And if you enjoyed this video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. It truly does help share the video around and grow the channel. But obviously in this current state of COD, we're in this COD HQ era, this new era of COD that was introduced with Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. Everything is being built off the same engine that Infinity Ward initially dropped with Modern Warfare 2022, right? So Treyarch's doing it for Black Ops 6 right now. They'll be doing it for the COD 2025 title as well. When we get into COD 2026 though, this is where they have the next opportunity to make significant upgrades, because with the next generation of consoles here, the Xbox Prime potentially dropping with this game, that means new technology and further advancements there, which opens up the door for a brand new engine or a significantly upgraded engine for Call of Duty. This in and of itself could be big to counter a lot of things when it comes to cheating, when it comes to optimizing the game across the board with a lot of the issues that we've got going on now. You probably also want to look into, making sure your servers are optimized and pristine for that situation as well, but certainly presents them an opportunity to significantly upgrade gameplay across the board for Call of Duty. That also likely implements a situation where they're truly going to be looking at potentially knocking out PlayStation 4 and Xbox One from the launch cycle. So the game would only be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and then obviously the new generation of consoles as well, the Xbox Prime, and then whatever PlayStation ends up dropping too. So that in and of itself could be a very, very significant shift, going away from PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for the first time in a decade plus for Call of Duty, and focusing more on the current gen and then the next gen consoles at that time. But then also from the engine standpoint as well, this could be an opportunity to potentially shift away from the COD HQ and focus on this everything's in one place situation, which has obviously backfired immensely in a lot of situations, in a lot of scenarios here. You also then have to consider what the future is like going forward with COD 2027. Would Sledgehammer then be building off the same engine as COD 2026 and Infinity Ward? Is it going to be back to the studio's discretion? Will it still be unified but not through the COD HQ? Obviously, we have a pretty direct layout for now up until COD 2025 and through that year with this Black Ops 2 sequel or whatever, right? We're still on the COD HQ in this current era of Call of Duty where things are pretty straightforward at this point. We understand how they're going to go about things. With this shift though, and if this does end up coming to fruition and these leaks and rumors are true, and we do see this next era of COD come into play with the Xbox Prime and everything going on with COD 2026, that's truly the next major opportunity for Call of Duty to shift things. Could be for the better, could be for the worse. Obviously, time is going to tell, and that time is still a long ways away, but some interesting information nonetheless. I am sure we're going to see this conversation come up plenty of times over the course of the next months as we get closer and closer to this actually being, a realistic timeline and not years away. But that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you enjoyed the video, a like is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to guarantee that every single day you're in the know for all things going on in COD, feel free to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.